Yo, what's up? How we doing, folks? How we doing, folks? Hey, Dane, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Right out the gate. Right out the gate. Sorry, I've been going back and forth with meta support. Trying to my Facebook account has restrictions on it. I couldn't tell you why. 6 years. 6 years. My Facebook business account has restrictions. No idea. Zero clue. And nobody will help me. I can't even talk to real people going through anything official. I had to buy the verified badge on Instagram to be able to contact their enhanced support to speak to a real human who basically just says, yeah, we can't do anything for you. And it stops me from joining any programs like the Creator Fast Track program, all these reward bonuses to try to monetize Instagram. I can't join any of them. Nobody can tell me why. Nobody can help me. I'm just, so if anybody knows anybody at Meta, let me know. And that is my rant to start this. Twitch Prime Stream. So what you see our beacon in the house? So this is the right move. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What's up, Piratey? What's up, folks? What's up? So Dungeon Masters airing episode 3 tonight. Anybody who watched the first two, definitely feel free to share your thoughts on it. Sound expensive? No, it was not. It was not I think it was like $1 to sign up, and then it's like $10 a month or something like that. And I literally only did it to try to get in contact with somebody because I couldn't any other way, and they're not helpful at all. They're not helpful at all. So um it's been bad. No more of those. Well, I still think we're gonna do that. So I think it's gonna be a pre-show into a watch party. So we're still going to be here. Maybe I should have changed the title or something like that. But yeah. We will be doing I will be continuing the stream and watching the actual episode, which I haven't watched yet. We got access to it yesterday or the day before, but I chose not to watch it. So I could watch it with everybody in the stream. So we will be doing that. It's funny. So I got auto flagged by the, I guess, Hasbro user generated content system. And so my previous co-stream was demonetized. And I was like, hey, they gave me permission, whatever. And I also emailed the creator people and were like, hey, I got demonetized on that video. Not that it was, I mean, that the ad money on that was probably like $1.50. But I wanted to clear that, and it got reset. It got turned back. So we are good on that. But just a funny thing that like I got that permission and then it got shut down anyway with that. So, oh, let me notify Discord, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, which I've said numerous times now, that I think they did a good job. I'm excited to see if the momentum continues, right? Like, is episode 3 as good as episode 2? Is it better? Is it worse? Right? Like, that's kind of what I'm interested in now, is figuring out how it performs. Or how it goes. Sorry. Sorry, I'm still trying to post in Discord that I am live. All right, there we go. I still remember reading the old Ravenloft novel that first introduced Soth to that realm. Oh yeah, I don't know that much about Ravenloft, to be honest. I truly don't. In the trailer for this episode, they tease that Zora/Nora tells Krem that she used to be married to Elwyn. Do we think it's going to create a serious problem in the group? Briefly, yes. I imagine a lot of the stuff like that they're putting in is mostly to show that you can have like these narratives and these things and stuff like that. But not be like the episodes aren't long enough to spend a ton of time focusing on those things. So I think it's more so to provide a little bit of that RP and drama and whatever to the story, but I do not believe that they will be going on it for a while. That's just my take, though. I could be completely wrong. I don't know what you guys think, but that is how I am interpreting that. Another question: will there be a combat in every episode? It feels like that's also probably likely. Because they want to show off monsters, they want to show off abilities, they want to like that's part of it is that they want to show things off, and so I would imagine with that in mind, that there would be a combat in each episode. We didn't really get one in episode 1 though, to be fair. Like it kind of started with that, and so it was kind of flavor. For that period of time, and then it got moved in. Like the first one was kind of just flavor, and then it got moved into an actual combat at the start of episode 2. I think they have a setup to release new encounters every week for people that pre-order. Correct. Tomorrow morning, another encounter will drop. The play along packs. The first one was for anybody. First one was completely free. And then the rest of them, I think you have to have pre-ordered in order to gain access. Which I have received no word about how those of us in the creator program are going to be able to get access to that. But hopefully we will find out sooner rather than later. I'd also love to receive a copy of the book, but I'm not trying to push my luck either. But I would love if I actually got to get that, because I am intrigued. Is there a runtime in episode 3? An hour 20-ish. Yeah, about an hour 20, and that will include, of course, like the opening cinematic and all that jazz. That's what I got from just opening the thing for a second. You know what's cool though is, of course I've stated that I enjoyed it, right? Cool. We all know that I enjoyed it. But we have also, what's up, Apex? The general consensus that I have seen just across the board, I have seen almost exclusively positive things, which is pretty cool, right? Like you never really know, and people are the way people are, so you expect that there's going to be a lot of hate, and of course there was some, right? Like there were Um, yeah. Working on my second and third campaign. Nice, nice, nice. Like you're planning ahead, or you have 3 campaigns going. What's up, Sherry? Yeah, no, it was solid. And again, it's cool to see that the general consensus has been that it was pretty good. First 2 episodes. Also, most people, or not most people, but anybody who acknowledged it basically said that the beginning was um the weakest part. Like the first 20 to 30 minutes was probably the weakest part. Well, not even a full 20 or 30. Basically, just that opening was the weakest part. Not that it was bad, but it was the weakest part. Yo, what's up, Shifter? Finally caught up on Critical Role. Awesome. So we'll see you at the pre-show tomorrow, maybe. We'll have Critical Role tomorrow, pre-show. And Dungeon Master's nice. It's not super long. Tonight's episode 3. The other 2 combined are like 2 hours and 18 minutes. So pretty quick. Pretty quick. I wish it was a little longer per episode. Well, this one is longer, right? The other 2 combined, 2 episodes combined were an hour 18. This one's going to be about an hour 20. So it's probably 5 to 10 minutes longer than the other episodes. So mildly, I don't mind it. I do not want another Critical Role on my calendar. Something bite-sized like this, I'm down for. I'm down for this. I don't want another thing I got to commit 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to. Being able to be like, hey, I got a 1 hour to an hour and a half episode to watch. I'm down for that. If I'm being honest, I'm super down for that. What's up, 17th Night? I was personally not sold on Christian, so that scenery scene where he shoots the guy, that was such a strong character choice. I was really shocked, but impressed with how he played that. Oh yeah, I mean, I was pretty impressed with Christian. Yeah. That was a pretty well played scenario for him. He also seems to have a pretty strong hold on the rules. Like, you know, they said from the get-go, they have kind of a scale of people from like don't really know how to play all the way up to like pretty good grasp. I think he's the one with a pretty good grasp. And then Dev is clearly the least experienced. I think Mayana has a good amount of knowledge of it as well. I think she really knows how to play. But yeah, Christian did a solid job. I did enjoy that. Another thing that was really cool is how invested or how much I cared, which was surprising to me. When they had the scene in Secret where we found out that Elwyn and Zora / Nora were at one point married in the past, and that they have these secrets. Like the fact that I actually cared about that was like, holy crap! Like, you know, like, oh, this is insane. Is kind of crazy. To have that level of investment that quickly was nice. It was nice. But what was everybody's favorite part of the first one, the first episode? I will say, I do. It is going to take a little getting used to comparing this to the Critical Role pre-shows. Like Critical Role pre-shows, I'm like unable to stop talking. Like the chat's just flowing, you know, all that sort of stuff. And now it's like, oh man, I don't remember what to do with like dead air anymore. Like I don't know. I'm just talking. Yes, I didn't think that would hit me as much after only an hour and a half. I'm glad the other players did know. Yeah, no, I think that's cool. I saw some video and I'm not sure if they misunderstood. But they said something like they thought it was like it took away player agency. Like none of them knew that, and it was just kind of thrust upon them. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure Neil's character didn't know. Neil didn't know, but clearly Elwyn and uh Zora were aware. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I don't know. I feel like that person didn't understand or misinterpreted it, because they made it seem like this was just like forced on them to do, which is a little odd. Oh, I did see that, Dane. Yeah, I did see that. And I meant to do a video saying that he was going to do it like a couple days ago, but I just never did. I just never did. It wasn't exciting, but I looked on Neil acted out Krim talking about the fear of death. It was really sincere. Okay, heck yeah, nice. Probably my favorite scene was the beginning of the fight. Jasmine description was good. The with the zombie clot or whatever, AK. Yeah, that pirate guy never shuts up in the CR pre-show. No, it's all good. I enjoy that. I enjoy that. Sound was cool, and I just want to know more about the story, and the gameplay was sweet. Heck yeah. Yeah. So I knew the sounds were going to be something that people were kind of hit or miss on. Super chat's not going. Everything should be fine. I mean, I'll set a goal, see if that like resets it or something. But I'm not sure why that isn't working, Daniel. I don't know if it's on your end or mine. Yeah, the people were, I knew that the sound effects were going to be something that was kind of a heated topic, right? Some people were going to think they were cool. Some people were going to be like, "Oh, I hated it." They didn't overdo it though, so there were less people who hated it, which was nice, right? Like there weren't as many people who were like, "Oh, this sucks." Like there's so much of it, you know, blah blah blah, because they really didn't overdo it. So that was really nice. I think they did a good job balancing that, honestly. I think they did a good job of not overdoing the sound effects. Off topic, good to see Improv RP servers back up. Some pretty funny content in that world. Improv RP servers, as in like Discords or something, or oh, you said in Skyrim. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. The zombie fight, yeah, no, the descriptions were good. I was actually, a lot of people were super impressed with Jasmine on the dungeon mastering. I get a lot of the comments I saw on my video and on others. It might have mostly been on others, where people being like, "Oh yeah, no, like Jasmine crushed it. Like I was really impressed by Jasmine and all that sort of stuff." What's up, Summer? I played the encounter with the zombie clump. It was fun, but our group was maybe a little overpowered as it went down pretty quick. Yeah. You know, it's all about getting the right balance, and whether you needed to buff it or nerf it, right? But it's still cool that they give you that, and there's more to come for people who have pre-ordered, right? Being able to jump into different encounters and stuff like that is pretty cool. It was well done on balance. The sound effects, yeah, same. I think it wasn't overdone. The voice distortion for the DM isn't my favorite thing, but lots of games use that effect. Yeah, and that's kind of where I was like, I think in my video, I was like, could it do without it? Maybe, but like it also didn't ruin it for me. One second, guys. Sorry. It's underrated. Yeah, I hadn't seen any of her stuff before, honestly. Um, Ravenloft was one of my favorite settings. It offered a chance to do full gothic horror in a D&D world. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. I've just never played in it. Again, I have the Curse of Strahd book back here on a shelf, but I've never played it. I stole some stuff from Curse of Strahd, like the room with the crypts, like, or whatever. I took some of those, but that was it. Is this show today? It's got done running game. Yes, the Dungeon Master show is in about 35 minutes. I think the length of show will be difficult to get used to. The teaser looks pretty engaging, and it seems like the secret marriage is coming out. That's what somebody else said. I haven't watched the teaser, but Daniel also pointed out that it seems like they're going to come out with that. But yeah, so I personally enjoy this length for this because I don't want another thing that requires me to commit 4 to 5 hours. So I don't mind it. Yes, it is different, right? It's definitely different. But yeah. Jasmine's biggest claim to fame was Desi Quest. Hey, Daniel, thank you for the 5 memberships. I appreciate that. I'm guessing that's because the thing wouldn't go through. But thank you for gifting the 5 memberships. Zach Pewog, Veg or Vega, Golden Rose Garden, and Turam. If you guys are here, make sure to say thank you for the gifted membership from Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. Which got a Kickstarter for over $1 million, I believe. She was in the scene before that, but she started landing a lot of work after that. Yeah, so I knew about Desi Quest. I've never seen it. And then also the Dispatch. Yeah, the Dispatch one shot. She also did that. And I know she's in other stuff. And she also does like Twitch streaming and whatnot. Like she's somebody who popped up in a lot of like smaller gigs, like one shot gigs, and does performances at like conventions and stuff. I think when I was at Gen Con or PAX Unplugged, it might have been both. I think she was in one shots at those things. Can do a super chat. So here you go. I appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you. Sorry to double check. 150K, but still great for 90 production. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, either way, like it helps support them doing something. 150K can go a long way if you know, it's not like a super long running thing. If you're doing like a short campaign. Now 150 isn't going to go that far if you're lasting years, right? Because you're not going to be able to pay yourselves for it and all the equipment and staff you may need. But yeah, I don't want another 4-hour show. For me, the sweet spot is 2 hours. That's fair too. Maybe I could see that. Like if it was 2 hours, maybe I could still enjoy it. But right now, I am pretty happy with the 1 hour episode for this. A 1 to 1.5, right? Like anywhere in there is fine. Like I don't want them to hard cut it at 1 hour, which they don't. Of course, they went over before, and they're going to go over again tonight. But it doesn't need to be that. Like I want it to come to like a natural end. But I also am just like, I don't want something I have to commit hours to, especially if I'm going to do something like this, right? If I'm going to do a pre-show, if I'm going to do a watch party or anything like that, I don't want another one of those. So what do we think we will get in this week's episode? The title hints at possibly some prophecies and fortune telling. Yeah, Taroka or whatever, which is the name of the product that they're coming out with as well. They're doing like a set of cards for that. So my guess is there will probably be something like that. Um, I am, of course, wanting to know how it is going to get unveiled, the history. What's up, Purple Tiger? The history between Elowen and Zora slash Nora. I want to know how that's going to be revealed. Crim's reaction to it. And they also said there's been some content that came out. I think they did like a short interview, and one of the questions was like, whose character has like the saddest backstory? And apparently it's Wesley. So it's Mayana's character, and so now I want to know what that is. Like, what's her backstory? Clearly something to do with a brother, right? And because she had that thing. Sorry, guys. When she saw the zombie clot, she saw like her brother, and that was like what, the bog of regret or something. So I'm gonna guess that it's something there. 1.5 hours seems like a really good time slot for an episode. Yeah, 1 to 1.5. I'm down for. I think yeah, 1.5 probably gives you more room to have a couple of slow moments that last like 10 minutes each. But they did a good job with the pacing in the first two. They did a good job with that. Uh, Mayana was, yeah, aka, if I'm remembering correctly, yes, Mayana was a writer on that. Jasmine was a co-writer on Campaign 3 stuff for CR. Not sure if she was a writer on Dispatch. No, Mayana was for Dispatch, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Jasmine, I think, helped with an entire region. I think because they were going with more of stuff that she could kind of be a source of cultural reference and stuff too. I believe, if I'm understanding or remembering that correctly. You know what I'm really curious about, just because it's genuinely just a curiosity, is like how much people get paid for something like this. You know, like what do these people walk away from this arc with? You know, like a per episode thing. Like, kind of what is it? What is it worth? For Dungeons and Dragons. I'm genuinely curious. Yo, what's up, Stephanie? Because I imagine Neil and Dev are kind of pricey. Yeah, I imagine that, they after Baldur's Gate 3 and their popularity that came from that. I mean, especially Neil, his popularity, they really capitalized on the social game. They did a great job of building up their social worth, like social network worth after that. And so I imagine that they are a pretty penny in terms of cost. It's awesome. I'd love to do something like that, some narrative design work. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. I don't think I'd be good enough at it. Oh no, I was talking about for the Dungeon Masters thing. I wasn't thinking Critical Role, but yeah, I imagine anybody who goes on Critical Role um is making a decent amount. Like, especially because they've kind of built up this name for like taking care of people and like giving good, rates and yada yada yada. So I imagine that puts pressure on them a little bit, where like when they bring Alex Ward into the fold and they bring Whitney Moore, and they bring, like, they're probably getting paid nicely, I imagine. But you also, like, nobody wants to be paid in like awareness, right? Um but at the same time, there's no doubt that like each of these people grows in popularity by a decent chunk by becoming a member of Critical Role. And so yeah. Now for this, I'm curious Yeah. Well, Jen English is going to be the pricey one. Yeah, I mean, well, with the BAFTA and all that. But in general, I mean, I think Neil, I mean, it's not even a thing. Neil is the most popular. And then Jin and Dev are probably next up. I assume they're all getting single-digit thousands per episode, with Jasmine probably landing around 5K off no info. Yeah, I mean, it's just pure speculation. But I would be curious about that. However, than making bank, really, imagine grinding for years as a voice actor and suddenly you're famous and everyone wants you. Yeah, no, that's super dope. It's always so interesting to me. Now, some of it is just, you know, people still work. That's just the way it is. And you get accustomed to living a certain life and blah, blah, blah. But it's always really interesting to me when people are like, speaking of, we can use Critical Role as the example, or even the BG3 folks or whatever, but just that they achieve a certain level of notoriety and of income that you think like, oh, they don't really need to take other jobs. This is mostly to the Critical Role thing, but then they just continuously do it anyway. And, you know, the part where they're like, oh, they need, like when they were taking time off, or people use the scheduling stuff to say like, oh, it allows them to do the other stuff. But it's like, they don't have to go be voice actors on another video game, and they don't have to, you know, so it's just kind of either they just want to, or they just also want to make even more money. Or their business model is not what we think it is. But yeah, mostly, here's going to be a hot topic. The thought has popped in my head, and I'm curious if y'all's takes on it, if you have one. Do you think the actual play space, the fact that now actual plays are such a prominent part of the TTRPG community, is a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think, well, I don't even know how to frame exactly. Do you think in the long term it's doing more harm or good? I think is the best way for me to put that. Because the more that I'm in the space, and I have been introduced to, hung out with some of the bigger creators, medium-sized creators in this space, from like TikTok, Instagram, all these different platforms, YouTube. A lot of them don't play outside of actual plays. They are no longer in the same, like, they're now actors more than they are like TTRPG. Does that make sense? Like, about some of them are, it's more about the performance and less about playing the game. And sometimes I question whether or not that's a good thing. You know? Yo, what's up, Edwin? Like, there are a number of, and it's not a super small number, who do not play a home game, who do not have a recurring game, they play when they are paid to be on a broadcast. That is the only time they play. And that to me is just very interesting. As somebody who plays 2 games a week. Yeah. When Divinity launches, will their voice actors be known or upcoming? I imagine a combination of the two. I'm sure they're grabbing some people. Might even be some of the same people from BG3. And I'm not talking about necessarily with this show, Dungeon Masters, because this is very clearly like a, hey, these people are getting paid to come play this thing. I still think that, you know, they're enjoying it. It comes across as such, that they're still having some fun, but there is a greater pressure on them to be like, okay, you need to perform. But yeah. On the whole, it's good for TTRPGs to have this extra exposure. It may not be good for specific players. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because, again, it comes to a spot where you're watching people who don't play the game play the game. Right? Like, that's kind of what it's becoming. I'm not talking about like Critical Role, although, again, other than Louise, maybe Alex, he seems like he might play. I don't know that any of the rest of them play in a game outside of that. But Louise is like, he's a real, like, I don't know, he's a real player, right? From what he told me, he plays like 3 games a week. right? He plays like 2 and then he has Critical Role. So that's interesting. And then, you know, when it comes to the Dungeon Masters cast, I think Neil has played games before, like home games and stuff. I think Mayana has. Christian did as well, at least when he got started, because that was also in an interview where he kind of started during COVID, I think. But yeah, I don't know. It's again not to. It's odd to me the number of creators. I don't mean celebrities, creators who make D&D content, who play at conventions and actual plays on stage, but they don't actually play the game outside of those scenarios. That's just an odd thing to me to be like, they don't play D&D except for when they're doing it as a performance. They are actors more than D&D players, and like that's such an odd thing for me to wrap my head around. Not to keep hashing on that. On the whole, I already read that. I think it depends on what your players bring, their own expectations. I like playing more story-centered, character-driven games with people who like a crunchy won't vibe with that. Yeah, I've always said the best way to play Dungeons and Dragons is play it with people who like to play the game that you like to play. Yes, I remember that too, Daniel, that he was saying that he's basically always been a forever DM. And so this is like the longest he's been able to just be a player is actually Dungeon Masters, which is cool. Luis is a munch. Oh yeah, no, he plays. He plays. I have an interview with him, Zach, coming up. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm still trying to figure out. I want to do like a little game at the end that I can put on my Patreon as like bonus content, kind of like a if you want the the full interview with Louise will be on my YouTube, and then I'll basically be like, if you want bonus content from this, we're gonna do blah 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 over on my Patreon, and then that'll be over there. I feel like if things get too big, the story can suffer. That's fair. Neil is amazing and definitely D&D expert, though a lot of people don't think he is. They just think he's milking BG3. Yeah, I don't think he's milking BG3. I don't, again, without really knowing, and like watching him be a player, I don't know if I would go as far as to say a D&D expert, but he understands the game. He definitely understands the game. And he says that he's DM'd a bunch and never really gotten to be a player. Sam and Liam run games at home. Do we know that they still do, or just that they had at some point in the past? Right? Because it's kind of, that's, you know, the same thing I'm talking about kind of is in the past, some of these creators got their start because they played D&D and wanted to talk about it. And then somehow they continued to talk about it and make like careers out of it, but stopped playing it. Right? They started to get opportunities, but they stopped playing the game that took them to the opportunities. What did Jordan have someone like Neil be your DM? You know, every NPC is coming to life. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I would love to someday have like one of these people DM for me. Right? Like imagine I want to sit at a table where Brennan or Matt or Jasmine is my dungeon master. How cool would that be? I don't think I could DM for them because I don't know that I'm good enough at improv yet for what they would throw my way. You know, like I've gotten better at it. I've definitely gotten better at just kind of flowing with whatever is thrown at me, but I don't think I'm good enough to have players like that. Yeah. Kids. Sam still runs a game for his kids. Okay. Does anybody know? I know Neil and Dev at some point were starting their own, like Patreon only audio D&D. actual play. Anybody know if that's still going on? Yeah, it was Dungeons, Dragons, and Dramas. There was a post on April 18th, episode 122, so I'm guessing so. I'm guessing it's still rocking. Yeah, they have Dungeons and Dragons and Dramas going. Oh, and it looks like they also do have, like, it's not like a crazy setup, it's in a podcast room, but they actually do have some videos on here. They have the unedited video recording of some of these episodes. That's episode 19. So why did this one appear to say 122? Maybe they're different stuff. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so they're still doing it. Which does take me to be slightly surprised, and this is not a slight at all, but that like Dev is still kind of like, I've never played D&D before, you know, whatever, but is currently in an actual play that's been going for a couple of months. So that's kind of surprising, I feel like. But either way, I was wondering if they still, Dev and Neil still had theirs going, and it seems like they do. Definitely not an improv guy unless crap talking is counted. Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely improv. As a player, I do a good amount of like interacting and stuff. I like to talk. Again, one of the reasons here I am as a content creator. I like to talk. But as a dungeon master, I have gotten much better at it. It became something I wanted to focus on, was being better at just rolling with the punches. And kind of taking the, and another thing I've added into sort of my dungeon master arsenal or armory is letting the players take the reins on certain things. So, you know, let's say some person is like, oh, there's going to be this funeral for like this member of my tribe, and instead of coming up with what that is like, describing their rituals, their rites, whatever, it's like, okay, tell me what that looks like. How does your tribe conduct a funeral? Or, you know, they say something to me, and again, I pitch it to them. You know, it's like, what does that look like? How does that sound? Right? Like, that's kind of how I might do that. And so that allows a bit of them having some of that world building and getting their stuff in there. Dev is pretty new. I think she's only really done the BG3 one shots. I understand why she says she hasn't really played, but she's great. Beautiful chaos energy. Oh yeah, I mean, she's fun at the table. And I know she's done just like the one shots and stuff. I was more so, they started, like, they launched 9 months ago or something. They launched an actual play. Neil, Dev, and like 3 other people I don't remember the names of. They do one that they release episodes on like every other week or something like that. So yeah. As a player, I'm very proactive. As a DM, I'm very reactive. Yeah, I'm definitely both. I'm definitely both at different times. But it's something I have focused on improving, right? And part of it was because, again, like I said before, I had that debate about doing start playing games like running games where people paid for a seat. And so I was like, okay, I need to work, like actively work on being a better dungeon master. And so I did. I started to think about, okay, I want to be able to handle this if this happens. I want to be able to handle this if this happens. So I started to put some effort into improving at certain aspects. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I will be, as of right now, the plan is to do the co-stream. So we'll swap to that other scene. and I will have it up, and we'll be watching it with you all. And I'll have a little bit of commentary here and there, and stuff like that for those who are interested and want to watch it here. The volume was good last time from what everybody told me, so it wasn't like I was overbearing or anything like that. What do you prioritize when trying to get better? Well, just for instance, if I'm doing like more of the improv, I make it a point to, if the player wants to do something or whatever, I go with it, whatever it is. It's like I'm gonna roll with that. With descriptions, some of the things I did is think about delivery, pacing, stuff like that. Again, handing things over to players more often to let them kind of get into the world. Quite a few things. Trying to do improv classes and then reading a lot of literature, whether epic poems or classic Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I need to get into reading more to help. Definitely. I think, freshens up the vocabulary, gives ideas for things and stuff like that. I definitely used to read more than I do now. I will say though, one of the difficult parts, so like doing this as like a pre-show is a little tough, because one of the downsides to the episodes being short is, for instance, when we do the Critical Role pre-shows, almost the entire 2 hours before we're talking about Critical Role. We're talking about, this is what happened, this is what might happen, this is the theory here, this is a theory there, here's speculation, here's some lore here, because there's so much to go through. And with these being as short as they are, it is more like, oh, we keep having these other side conversations. So I don't know. And I'm trying to decide if doing these are worth it. I'm trying to decide if doing these are worth it. Because they bring in less traffic, and there's not as much to discuss. I really enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed it, but yeah. And I will be continuing to watch it. I also don't think it's going to be like, it's great to make content off of, because they are so short. Nobody really needs, like, there's no need for a recap, right? For an hour-long episode, I don't think, at least. And I don't know if the audience is large enough to support reviews, recaps, like that sort of stuff at a scale of any significance, if that makes sense. But I don't know how you guys feel about any of that. Based on Deep Lore 1000. Exactly. And it, and maybe it's one of those things where it's like, if it continues to grow in popularity, then more people are interested and more people pop in for like a pre-show or a watch party or whatever. But it's just a matter of like, do I want to give the extra hour today, the coming, putting the thumbnail together, setting up all the different streams, going live an hour early, keeping the stream up to why, do I want to do all of that for the value it is providing? Which is, currently sub 20 concurrent viewers. It's just it's something I have to figure out on my own to figure out if it's going to be worth it as a creator to put in the extra work around it. I'm going to ingest it because I like it, right? Like no matter what, whether I was streaming it or not, I would be enjoying it. Are they showing the next episode on YouTube? Yes. We will be watching it in 5 minutes. It's all going to be on YouTube. They're not like putting it on an app or something or a paywall or anything. It's all on YouTube. We'll be swapping over to it in 3 minutes. I guess I could go ahead swap the scene over and start showing the screen for that. What's up, Jay? Did you get a call on Miss Bits? Oh dang. What shifts? All right. Could you FB please? I don't know what that. Could you Facebook? Are there ad breaks on the show for non-premium YouTube subs? I don't know actually. I have premium, so I don't know. All right, let's see. Did I have a scene set up for this? Yes. Awesome. There we go. Hey, 17th night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for the pre-show. Buy yourself a single coffee or half a fast food meal. It really is like that, isn't it? I was flabbergasted recently, 17 night, because so I started drinking coffee, I know very specifically in 2012. And at the time, I could go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee for $1.06. Literally, a cup of coffee for $1.06. I went to the local, just around the corner, there's a private, like a family coffee shop, like small business. And this, it was like $4.60 or something for a single cup of coffee, and they don't do like free refills. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? Like, for a small cup of coffee, no refills? Is crazy. Is crazy. But thank you so much for the super chat, 17th night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It should be going live in just a minute. So let's get that excitement. 11 a.m. to 7:30. Ah, okay. So you got like, you don't have to wake up super early, but you also miss dinner time. Yeah, P-Wog, I'm not sure about the ad breaks. Not sure about the ad breaks. Here it is. They should probably get something that fits a little bit better for this, but I don't think you can. I think this is just the natural countdown for premieres, I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know if they can change this, but if they could, this does not fit D&D at all. But I'm pretty sure this is just the native thing. So we'll go ahead and make this full screen. We will ignore the chat now. I'll get rid of that. And it is game time, baby. All right. Here's to hoping to keep up the momentum and we get a really good show. And let me know if the volumes and stuff are still good. All right, there we go. Forgot to turn it on for a second. We're gonna turn it up to 80. Well, people pointed out already, Sherry, that some of the trailer showed some stuff about like Krem finding out about the previous marriage and stuff like that. Ooh.
You all find yourselves in Nedragard Keep. Your
I like the
little
visuals.
avian friend no longer there to give you emotional or navigational support. As soon as the portcullis comes clanging down shut behind you, you see a decrepit guard shack where maybe at some point a guard was posted, sort of right inside this main approach, is what we're gonna call it. But the keep itself is mysteriously empty. Posts seem to have been abandoned, not in haste, but with some purpose unknown to you.
Inside that shack, is there a map of any sort, or sort of this is where you are, Star?
Yeah, you are here.
You are here, yes.
Unfortunately, the Sithicus Mall does not have a You Are Here map.
Hot topic it is.
The fact that there is no one posted here is quite unusual, which leads me to believe that there is a bigger threat, perhaps?
Well, I would point out that portcullis opened as we were approaching, which means
Somebody's watching. And they've anticipated our arrival.
yes.
Who said the only way out is through?
Dr. Remus, yes. As she says that, I turn around. Can we leave?
The portcullis has come clanging shut down behind you.
Right.
With a ring that kind of made Lavindria jump a little bit and
There's
grab
no
your
going
hand.
back now.
I'll take it and squeeze her back. Oh, it's okay. We're here now, and whoever is the master of this place knows we're here, so I suggest we make things a little brighter. And then I'm going to cast dancing lights and create 4 little torches that are going to float around people's
Create
heads.
hovering illumination.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
can
it's-
kind of send them up.
Sort of like around everybody's sort of like area, just very gently to illuminate the area above it. Ah, there we are. Oh, this place isn't so bad. It's a little run down, sure, a little mossy, but quite interesting.
As your lights drift up towards the ceiling, you realize that this chamber has rather tall ceilings. And although you're looking out on a sort of rundown garden right in front of you with a fountain that no longer has any water trickling through it, you realize there's paintings and tapestries adorning the walls kind of all the way up before sort of ending in a, I believe it would be called a bas relief painting.
Can we have a look at these paintings?
Yeah, what are the paintings of?
And I want to look at the fountain and see if there's a plaque or an emblem or something.
See what we can glean.
Suss out check.
As you approach the fountain and look inside now, the stagnant water, since there's no fresh water running in it, you don't see anything that particularly catches your eye. And then as you gaze closer, you notice that there looks to be piles of soggy paper inside of it.
Like the bird.
Well, I go to reach in, but I catch my reflection for a moment, and I notice that my eyes are a little redder than they usually are, I think. I feel as if maybe being here is some sort of animalistic turn on. Not in this space, but in this realm. It feels different.
Deb.
It was gonna happen.
Animalistic turn on.
I'm sorry. Continue.
I then ignore that moment, and I reach into the stagnant water and see if I could discern what the soggy paper is.
As you pull out this rather large piece of parchment, it's kind of disintegrating in your hands. You have a few moments to examine it before it kind of just turns to pulp in your fingers. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
All of us, or just Just Eloine, because
I still really love
they are
these
the ones that are
graphics
kind of
for the
handling
dice
it.
rolls.
It's a 13.
A 13.
12 plus 1, yeah.
It turns into pulp so quickly, you're not able to discern exactly what it was, but you do catch a glyph in one of the corners before it completely kind of turns into mush. That gives you the inclination that perhaps this was a spell scroll of conjuration at some point.
Question. I have a skill called Quick Study, and I know these things crumble as soon as we take them. Is it possible I can literally like glimpse it and sort of see it? Or is
Absolutely, go
that just
ahead and attempt to do so.
I also have discovered that I haven't been playing. I have a thing called Gnomish Cunning,
Oh.
which gives me advantage. 'Cause I have a disadvantage on everything, but that would be cancelled out, I would think, with my Gnomish Cunning, because it's intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. I get advantage on, I think.
Yes, so that would just
That would
turn
just
into
cancel it.
flat.
So a flat thing. I might be tired, but the mind doesn't rest, you see. All right, so quick study, would that be investigation?
Let's do investigation, yeah.
Okay, so that's a +6 proficiency, but that's included in the.
That's included in
Yeah,
that
it's
plus
plus
6,
Straight
yeah.
+6, all right. Oh, let me have a look at that.
Okay, I'm glad he
That's
figured that
12.
out because before
As it sort
was
of
adding
falls
both
apart
separate.
pretty rapidly in Eloine's hands, you recognize the parchment itself. It was definitely a robin's egg blue piece of paper that you had given to Lavendria at some point.
Well, maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, but I believe I knew that piece of paper.
What do you mean?
I turned to Lavinia and, do you remember that scroll I gave you? Do you remember what was on it?
Yeah, I folded it up into a little birdie and I gave it to our friend.
Oh no.
What friend?
Well, I gave it to our little bird friend
Soulless.
when we first met him.
Lavender.
What did you give?
A
Pewog,
little
yes.
token, a little paper token. She folded it up and gave it.
And he offered me a gift, but he said it would cost me money. I told him I didn't have money. And he said, well, sometimes you don't have to have money because you have other things you could give.
Lavender, what did you give him?
Well, I didn't take anything from him because you told me not to take things from strangers.
Quite right, and I.
But he told me he'd ask me again.
Oh.
He said when we weren't strangers, he'd ask me again. So.
Well, hope you don't mind me saying this. I really do feel that if your friend comes back, you really should let us know, and if there's anything to discuss, we should do this as a group.
Okay.
Thank you.
Whatever he gives me, I'll share with all you guys.
That's,
Like, even if it's like a little teeny tiny candy, I'll cut it into 3 parts.
well, again,
For my parents and me, and not the 2 people I don't trust.
well, anyway.
Does it wound you every time?
I love it. I think the pettiness is delightful.
She gets it from Zora. Hey, why am I being dragged into this?
I was going to make a suggestion, everyone, to be extra safe. How do you feel about proceeding through this keep disguised, perhaps? Or something that the Lord Sarth might recognize more as his own?
Do we have any indication of what the knights look like? Are there any
Is
sort
there
of
any armor?
depictions of the knights in
You
this room?
are in a room covered in tapestries with all kinds of depictions of all kinds of things, and definitely knights. The depiction on the ceiling above you is of a beautiful continent being torn asunder by a dragon.
Is there an indication here that, like,
Show it to us.
we know that people come from other places, that you don't start here, presumably. Does this basically feel like a reflection, perhaps, of Soth's regret?
Give me an insight check.
You got it.
You could do that, or you could do perception if you want to try to notice details about it. I would allow either one.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a hearty pat on the back and guide you. So I've got guidance as well as a
Thank
cantrip.
you. Ooh.
Good job.
Thank you.
It's really awkward.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, okay. It's disadvantage though, which is a huge bummer because I had a nat 20 and a 3 plus 1, 4.
Yeah, it doesn't look recognizable to you. And if anything, it's
Oh,
just
because
the sheer level
exhaustion.
of carnage. It doesn't seem like something
And they're
that
using
one
the
would want to
2014
adorn their
version
home with.
They're really not a
instead.
people person.
Dang.
What I would recommend is you disguise yourself as one of these knights and you take us as your prisoners to Lord Soth.
That makes sense, since the spell is disguise self. Anyone got any chains?
Ooh, are there chains?
If you give me a moment,
Oh.
I'm going to just roll a dice on this one. I open my bag of holding. It's not going to be chains, but it might be links of steel or
Yeah.
like thin ones, like just to tinker with and make like loops of, whatever.
Yeah, give me a luck roll.
Yeah, okay. How does the luck roll work?
It's just a naked
D100?
D20.
Oh, D20, okay. That's 5.
You pull out all sorts
Fluffy
of things.
handcuffs. Like,
Blindfold.
Oh, excuse me. Research.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You go up to one of these tapestries. You study it so that you know how to like change what you're wearing to match it better.
See, people said that it felt
And
too much
as
like,
you're
oh, they're just paid
studying
to be there.
this
But like they
tapestry,
have fun. It's
you,
fun.
Like sort of taken the image that it portrays, which is an image of a
Ooh, I
fallen
wish I made
knight.
a cup of decaf.
You see this like diagonal burn kind of going across it. On one side, you see a knight in like shining white armor, adorned proudly in pennants and ribbons, being anointed with oils in great reverie. And then it's almost as though
Pocket
that
bacon.
tapestry has been burned away halfway, and then underneath is a death knight.
Oh.
And this knight, it's almost like a mirror image, but half of it is one thing and the other half is like a perfect imitation, but kind of inverted on its head. And on that one, instead of being anointed with oils, there are like people like spitting and casting stones and rotten like fruit at this man.
These tapestries, are they of the same knight?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't think you should do this because I think this is Soth.
I didn't think about that.
I think we might be
His
witnessing
downfall.
his downfall.
Is there something in the painting or the picture or could be another entity that maybe have influence over here? Maybe you should do a look at that and
Sure.
do that maybe.
Yeah, there are several tapestries. There's 6 in total, and then there's the relief
With
painting.
the dragon burning a continent.
I'm gonna climb up the wall and give a closer inspection of the
Vampire spider climb.
the relief.
Of course.
I really wish you'd warn us before you do that.
I walk back down.
50
I'm
for
going up the
delivery.
wall.
Oh, yeah,
I walk back
exactly.
up.
When you go up to look closer at
17th
the
only gave me 10.
relief,
So
in what way are
couldn't
you
get it
investigating
DoorDashed.
it?
I'll do 2 things back to back, I think. I want to investigate or see if there are any etchings that are sort of hidden from the naked eye from 20, 30 feet below, or however tall this room is. And if it looks like there might be somewhere to press and sort of move this thing, because in my travels and my time, I know that there are puzzles or traps or reliefs that this can happen to. I would like to see if that is a possibility too.
Absolutely. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
They're not
That is a
rolling
6.
well.
A 6. Your fingers in a trained fashion kind of move across this image. Your hands move across the dragon fire coming out of this fearsome beast's mouth. You see people on fire, clutching their loved ones and belongings, being completely immolated. And there's a moment of familiarity, even though you've never seen it before. And just as this thought is beginning to take root in your mind, your finger touches a switch.
Oh.
And as it does,
Get down.
several spouts come out of the relief and jet down water onto what would be the garden below. Everyone give me a constitution.
Oh, no. So it's disadvantage on checks. Is it also disadvantage on saves for exhaustion?
No, just ability.
Just ability
Okay.
checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just ability
Constitution
checks for
save.
Yeah.
Okay.
rules.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. I got a 4 + 5 for a 9.
9,
11.
11,
6.
6.
Ooh.
In your line of work, you get exposed to all kinds of microbes of all kinds of natures, and your immune system is more attuned to them, but the rest of you take poison damage.
Oh.
You don't know where this water has been sitting, but it hasn't been circulated in a very long time,
Right.
and whatever died inside it is now raining on top of you. Lavendria dives underneath you for cover.
Yeah, I'll cover her.
Oh, wow, that's high.
Oh, no. Oh,
You said
no.
the
With the
internal
water
bit
sound
out loud.
effect.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, poison
11
trap
points
from the
of
water,
poison
though.
damage.
All of us?
Poison from like a
Lord.
Right.
It continues pouring
something
down
rotting
a
in the water.
deluge. Lavender becomes alarmed. And you see her kind of like dart and start to like go into one of the side chambers
Lavender, no,
to
wait.
get away from this fetid, musty water.
I'll follow her. I can assure you, I will not let a drop of that water come anywhere near you.
Pinky promise?
Pinky promise.
Okay.
I'd like to open my bag of holding, grab as many like just rag cloths, and just sort of hand them out to anybody close by. I've got stuff in there, like I know I could douse it with like vinegar or something like that.
Yeah.
Just trying to think, like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
wanna, like, just douse it really
Disinfect
as
a little
quickly as-
bit?
yeah, like
Yeah.
using what I know that will help like filter miasma and crap, which is I'm used to doing that. So just like sort of, wow, quickly. I know it's not pleasant, but wrap this around your face quickly, darling. You know what to do.
Any further saving throws you'll make with advantage.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's
I'm still
delightful.
up there, so I don't grab one, but I see that click happen. I obviously recognize that this is some sort of trap system, and because of
It's
that...
less of a trap system and more of an irrigation system.
Oh, an irrigation system. So, okay, would I be able to perceive that this is something, that there's a sort of another switch that would do something else, or is this just something
You
that
could try to find one. Give me a investigation check.
all of you should move.
All right. Oh no, so unlucky.
That's a nat one. That's a nat one.
A complete botch.
They are not doing
I love
well
these.
with these rolls.
As you open your mouth to say, all of you should move, with your hands now slick from this jet of water coming out, you start to slip and you start to feel the black water kind of go into your nose and mouth and lungs. Give me a Constitution saving throw as you fall from the ceiling into the fountain.
Okay.
Okay, that's a Constitution saving throw? That is a 16.
Finally.
16. Immediately,
What's up, Love on TikTok?
you emerge, bursting forth from this pool of water, kind of coughing
Yeah, at
and
least he passed
hacking.
that
And
one.
as you do, you hack out a few bugs.
Oh.
How much damage do I take from the fall?
You don't take any damage.
Oh, I don't like the way you said that. That has never happened before. Do I feel fine?
Can I take one of his cloths and
I
give it
don't
to
stream me
Eloise?
playing. I play 2 games a week, but I don't stream those. But if you see on my page, I post lots of content related to D&D. News.
So it seems like we need to get out of here.
My thoughts on stuff like
Lavender,
that.
you.
I also do a
where-
critical
is that
role
a-
pre-show.
She's kind of in one of the side chambers here. The water is mostly falling in that green area,
We like here, right?
sort
Yeah,
of
the
with
garden.
the
So are
with
we
the
in here?
fountain in the middle.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
And you're in the where are you? You're right in the middle.
Maybe we try one of the side chambers where Lavender went.
Yeah, Lavender just took cover because this water is just coming down almost like a shower from these spouts up on top.
Lavender, put this on. You know the drill.
It smells bad.
I know it does, honey, but this was not really the time or the place.
She ties it on.
Good girl. Thank you.
We
Good.
should go up the stairs.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go up the stairs quickly.
Yes, please.
You go up the stairs, and as you do, you pass more paintings in the hall. As the sound of water kind of rapidly coming down and this deluge
Came to
behind
hang.
you
Yeah, what's
Dave,
up, Double?
becomes more distant, you do hear, as you go up the steps, a
That's familiar.
Hmm.
Where is it coming from?
from somewhere up ahead.
What's the order that we're in?
Paper
Yes,
fluttering.
establishing marching orders, please.
I think I would have jumped in the front there.
Yeah, scout ahead.
Yeah, Ranger's gonna range.
Wait, did you split up on the staircases?
No, we didn't. We didn't. I want to be clear that we didn't. I want to be clear that we didn't. I want to be so clear that we didn't split up.
No. I'm also taking Lavender's hand in my hand.
You hear the fluttering coming from up above, but as you pass the paintings, everyone give me a perception check.
Oh.
They are not rolling well. They've had like one decent roll, I feel like, or 2.
10 from me.
10. 6.
I don't need disadvantage because of my gnomish intelligence.
Nice.
-1 though, so that's 18 -1 for 17.
17.
9 plus 6, lowest number plus. Yeah, so 9 plus 6, 15.
15.
Yeah.
The two of you begin to piece together that the paintings do link to the tapestries that were in the main foyer. You see the same recurring night, and you see pieces of his life. You see a wedding. You see mourning. You see images of friendship, and you see images wrought with rage and retribution.
I think I'm sensing an interesting story here.
Very sad one.
But perhaps something we can use to our advantage.
Indeed.
As you emerge onto the beautiful patterned stone of this chamber that you're all entering into, you see a dais with a throne erected on it, on which is slumped a tall, imperious figure, his helmet sort of sitting on the arm of his chair next to him. And he's gazing almost
Lord Soth.
thoughtfully into what looks to appear a beautifully sort of constructed chasm that leads down to somewhere far below.
We walk in, and what you described, he's there? That's what, we're walking in on him sitting in the room like that? Oh,
yes.
okay.
So there's gonna be...
Okay. And he slumped.
Can we change the
Yeah.
order? I'm gonna be in the back. Cool.
Do you wanna what? Do you wanna change the order? He doesn't notice you come in.
I feel like he wants to take this moment before anything sort of happens. I quickly run up to my wife and just sort of tug her sleeve a little bit. And go,
Yes.
"Sorry.
Creme, what?
Well, I know this is a little.
Or they
left
just put it
field,
in
but,
afterwards,
I had an
Zach, to
idea.
be fair.
Did you notice the tapestries we walked past?
Yes.
Well, we talked earlier about.
I don't know if you
disguising
walked. That's a
ourselves.
good
I mean,
question.
I think there's something more to this
I
story,
imagine
this
Washington. I imagine
entity,
this is
figure here. What if you do you
where
remember
D&D
the woman
is, but I don't know.
and the wedding sequence and
Yes.
the tapestry? Well, maybe you could approach this creature like that. What do you think?
You think that's the woman in the picture is his wife?
I sort of feel it leads itself to that story, you know.
I don't know. Can you guys hear this?
I assume if you're whispering,
Yeah, I'm
but we're all huddled together.
Huddled, yeah.
I think it might be a good idea.
Okay, but just remember, I have the lowest AC, so
We will protect you.
Yeah, my guess, Zach. I
Just
also
one more
do.
thing. I turned myself away
Or
from
she,
these
it's
two.
pre-written. Like, even if it's not a module, like she
okay, we
pre-wrote
haven't really
DCs for
talked.
specific
seriously,
stuff.
Creme? We're standing in front of this
Otherwise, I
dark
imagine after the
night,
fact,
and
she
now's the
told
time to have
them.
the conversation.
for the
I told you. This is
editing.
the last quest, and then we're finished.
I know, but I just thought maybe we could leave as friends.
Oh, wow.
No, you're right. This is more important. And I turned back.
It is a horror setting, so I have to do it. Roll a stealth to see if Lavendria hears you.
Oh. Did not think
Here's
this
the
through.
parents
Of
getting divorced.
Parental disputes.
Okay, I get a +6 to myself. 12 + 6 for 18.
I got a 7.
7.
I know she said it as well.
She doesn't hear what you
Tough break
say,
for Grim,
but
yeah.
she does hear you say, "I told you, one more job and we're through." She only hears those words.
Okay.
Okay.
And you see her little face scrunch up.
I think I heard as much as anyone would have heard in that setting. And what lands on me is that I've been exactly where he is right now. If I wasn't a Dampier elf who was married to his current wife at some point, I would hug him.
There's a lot of like, ifs.
We'll always have her off.
Oh, we'll always have her off.
Anyway, to the plan. Is there anything else you two could think of to help the situation, perhaps?
Did you get a good look at the wife, the woman?
In the tapestries, yeah.
So you want to look at one of these paintings in the hall and disguise yourself as a woman within them.
The wedding scene, ideally. Painting.
wedding scene.
Yes, absolutely. Wedding dress, like a wedding veil, the wedding ring, everything.
Give me a deception check with advantage.
Okie doke, +5. Come on. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's where their
It's a
main
19.
offices
Oh,
are, right?
19.
24.
You
Is Seattle?
transform your
where
clothes
Wizards of the
and your
Coast is based.
visage to the best of your ability to that of the woman in one of the paintings.
As she changes, because she
The
often
one they're
starts from
changing
the
form
face
into?
upwards,
I'm not sure.
I feel there's a moment when Krem is looking at her, and all he can see is her face still, and the wedding dress, and then the face changes. So for a split second, you look so beautiful. I mean, as the bride of the person.
I like to think also I was one of those brides that was quite thrifty, so I wore the same dress to both my weddings.
I don't even have to like torture you guys. You just torture each other, and that's beautiful.
Well, I think because I think I can see that this is a more somber moment for him.
Yeah.
Somber.
Yes. Well, I think I am not hiding my reaction to it. I think she looks beautiful.
Oh.
Oh,
That's really sweet.
she's crying. See?
I'm crying.
Of laughter, you monster!
Zora, darling, why are you
Torturing
crying?
these men! What the hell? Get some therapy!
Oh my god!
The moment is definitely marked. Krem actually looks away, unfortunately looks to Lavender, and sees Lavender, and then he just turns
Yeah, I'm pretty
completely
sure
around.
they're definitely
I'm
based in
just gonna
Washington
keep a
State, like
look
which is
out
the coast
for,
is. I think
just to
Seattle.
make sure.
Yeah, as you look away and kind of into this chamber, the entrance at which you are posed, you realize why the Dark Lord has not heard you, kind of not being that subtle in the hall.
Sure.
You realize he's not asleep or dead,
Wizard
like
of
you
the
had
Coast, yeah.
hoped, but rather that as he is sort of sitting with his head on his hand like this, helmet aside, his face sort of soft from decay, kind of beginning to deform around his hand in some sense. You realize he is humming to himself, maybe even softly singing to himself.
Do I recognize the melody?
This is going to be a perception check to see how much you can pick up from where you are.
Would this be a history for a memory of a song, as well as perception?
Yeah, it could be history.
So recalling. Okay, so you get a +3 to that. All right, so that is 10 plus 3 for 13, and disadvantage is going to be 7 plus 3 for 10.
Oh.
The only thing that you can recall about it is that you have vaguely heard it before in the wailing, echoing
Someone
song
sings the
that you
blues.
heard when you first entered Nedregard Keep. And in fact, now
That
as you
makes sense.
sort of look in the chamber, you do see 3 like almost large sconce-like structures sort of in these alcoves along one side of the chamber, and they're all sit empty, almost as though there's supposed to be a light within each of them, but there isn't. Large, crystalline, incredibly ornate. It's like an empty lamp is the best way to describe it.
3 of them?
Yes.
Okay. And they're not lit?
No.
Should we take some other positions around the room, investigate a little bit before we get into this thing? 'Cause we're
yes.
just
Up
talking
to
about-
you,
Yes.
but certainly if you guys want to be hidden back up, we should set that up now.
I'm pretty stealthy, so I'd like to. And Lavender, I think, is pretty stealthy as well, right? She's kind of stealthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he turns around and goes, "Oh, listen, obviously it's pretty crazy stuff. I think we should have a look around before we get into El Plan. And so maybe you, Elwyn, and myself and Lavender, we can scoot around and have a little look-see before
I will
you-"
wait at the entrance,
Yes.
and I will wait for your sign.
Yes, the sign will be a small blue tit making a little sound.
Okay. Okay, just for Neil to showcase that his birding abilities are better than mine. That's okay, fine.
Literally that. So, like to the 3 of us, I guess, yeah.
I think I'll stay, because are you guys going to maybe go up the stairs and then around to the other side, or?
We're just gonna go to the edge of the room and like so go round,
Sounds
circumnavigate
good.
it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Everyone give me an insight check to see if you can discern kind of what sort of state Soth is in.
Me too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. Ugh. Net 1. I don't see anything.
19.
19.
12.
12.
And that is 17 and 10, so 10.
Are you rolling with advantage?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
They both have a
Because we're
level of
exhausted.
exhaustion.
Oh, still.
We're exhausted.
With a 19, you notice a few different things. The first thing is you realize that Soth is not asleep or like incapacitated in any way. You see intelligence behind the dark orbs that now serve as the Death Knight's eyes. You see them kind of flicking back and forth. You see one of the rotted lips kind of barely moving as he slurs and mutters some type of song under his breath, almost as though he's compelled to do so. And as you're looking at him, you notice the object of his intense focus something in that dark chasm, and you hear that paper fluttering, and then you notice a little twitch of a smile as you hear the faintest sound inside the chasm, and you see the edges of a wicked, half-rotten grin.
Okay.
Is there anything we can hide behind? Is there any shadows we can dart through or something?
It would be incredibly difficult.
But he can't hear us.
No. But if you make a single solitary sound, he will immediately become aware of your presence, as this room is designed to amplify and reflect sound almost infinitely.
I think we should creep down the stairs. We go with our plan. You go into this room and see what happens.
Okay,
Intel first. We just want to see what he knows and why he wants us here, right?
sure.
I go into my wares and I pull out a chopped up fur and a gilded acorn, and I incant. and
Yeah, I
smash them
imagine,
together,
Daniel, that's
and
not
a little ferret
how this will play out, or
as
that'd
I
be a
cast
quick
Summon Beast.
TPK.
Appears in my hand, and I
Oh,
bump
100%
into you, and he
17
crawls up
night. I
onto
mean,
your
this
shoulder,
is
and he can understand my commands, and I say, if
like, I'm
anything
sure
goes
this is
wrong,
creepy to them, but they probably
you
don't
come and get
grasp
me,
how,
and you make
like,
as
oh
much
god,
noise as
this is.
possible, and we'll enter the room all together. We stay out of sight until we're needed.
Zora, are you okay with this plan?
I suppose I am. I just need to know that you guys have my back.
Always.
Always.
Of course. With that, I walk into the chamber and I want to join in with whatever he's humming. Would I know what that is? Like, okay, here's my question. In the disguise self situation, can I also disguise my voice? And can I know things that this woman
No.
would also maybe know?
Disguising your voice would definitely be part of the deception. You won't know the song off of the top of your head, as you don't absorb the memories of the person you're imitating, really just their appearance. That being said, you did vaguely hear these voices kind of wailing and singing when you entered the keep. Give me an
I
intelligence check
think
to see if you
disguise
can
self
recall
may
them.
not even do voice.
Okay.
You would have to like perform it. So
That's the natural one.
Oh, wow.
So I go in singing Jingle Bells, Jingle
yeah, I don't think it's anything to
Yeah,
do with.
no, I guess I don't.
Soth's eyes shift from the object of his torment, which was suspended in the chasm in a silver cage, and they dart towards you. You immediately feel almost undressed before those large, quivering eyes, and you feel as though your deception has failed.
They are rolling
He
really
does
bad
not
today.
see
They're getting the
you,
Tayor experience.
his wife. He does not even see you, Zora. He sees something else inside you. Oh, shit. He laughs wickedly.
Ah, yes, I know the creatures bound to Baba Yaga, and know that her power cannot save you here in my dominion. And your paltry, pathetic little attempts at this ridiculous deceit are as insulting as they are embarrassing.
Be that as it may.
Quiet, hag.
And you feel spectral chains pull you forward
The
into
voice
the chamber.
Things they had done
as
before
your
were
deception
brief,
is immediately shattered like glass.
Does the ferret make a sound?
whereas this
then
that was a longer one of
move
it.
in,
It
we
was,
move in.
And you are sort of wrapped in these chains, hovering in front of him. You feel the chains tighten, kind of holding your arms down around your body, and you all hear a snap as the chains begin to tighten so hard that one of your bones cracks.
Wait.
You take 10 bludgeoning damage as you feel one of your bones pierce your skin as the chains get tight, and you feel it kind of pierce you through the arm.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
Did you come here thinking that you were the heroes? You sordid lot. The sorry lot of you. You thought a hag, a half-dead man, some illiterate necromancer, and a worshipper of a cold, callous deity who holds no domain over me or my land could saunter in here with this sad deception with your dead child and deign to waste my time. I was a knight. I was a man of honor. What are you?
We, sir, are parents. I would like at that point to then blast him with a dragon's breath.
As your dragon's breath comes, probably erupting from your mouth, I would say, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like it sort of builds up along the spine and sort of just comes out straight, like from his head, basically. Sort of involves it straight out like that.
Does he respond in any sort of traumatic way to the dragon's breath?
He does. He becomes more enraged, standing up. And now you see him pull his sword from where it was resting behind his throne. He immediately, almost effortlessly, deflects your dragon's breath and says,
I will suffer no more insults from the likes of you.
Wait.
You are vermin. You think yourselves to be the heroes, but you're nothing but characters in my story.
and the room begins to fill with mist. And as it does, you look down at your hands and your bodies, and you realize that you are now two-dimensional.
What
They get turned to paper?
have you done?
As you look up, you see his face, now with the helmet on, leering down at you, those two haunting orbs. And you see a book begin to close on you.
Ah.
I fall to my two-dimensional knees. I take my bow. I throw it on the ground, and I say, "You're right. I'm sorry. We're sorry. How can we be of service?"
Turned into
You'll be
pages in the book.
It's like the entire sky is his face. And as the book begins to close, you see on these pages that are about to crush you
Episode
are
of Draw Your
written
Weapons.
the words of Soth's story.
Oh.
Included with those illuminous illustrations depicting Soth's sad tale. But just past the bottom of the page that you are kind of stuck on, you see something else. The small figure of a goblin child crawling down a chain into a chasm, and the nervous fluttering of paper wings. You hear the telltale sound of a knock spell, and you see a smear of ink come flying towards you, ripping the pages out of the book as Soth slams it shut. A massive hand crushing down on you that would have been your fate. With you all safely clutched in its talons, Solus soars out the window. You see one sword strike come down. You see it strike the bird as it tumbles over sideways.
They didn't have to add the burr sound
and with
effect.
its final moments, releases you through the window. You're still two-dimensional. Drawings on this parchment. And the wind carries you across the continent of Sithicus that you now have a bird's eye view of from where you were flung into the wind.
I can't believe it has him.
Except
Whoa.
Lavender is not with us.
No.
I scream. Her name.
Your words turn into script in a speech bubble next to your face. You all see as Krem opens his mouth and you hear him scream, and then you see written in your handwriting, Lavindria.
Oh, this just took a
drawn
wild
out.
turn.
You get a bird's eye view of Scythicus, and you see a massive yawning chasm sort of rent in the middle of what used to be maybe at some point a somewhat peaceful land, but now it is being racked by flames and inferno, not unlike the flames you saw in that bas relief. As the wind picks up and threatens to push you almost into one of these massive columns of ethereal fire, you hear it. And once again, you're snapped into Solus's beak. He's not flying straight now. And if you look closely, you realize one of his wings is completely rent off. He is kind of tumbling to the earth, attempting to take you somewhere with what might be his last chance to do so.
Shout out
You
Solus.
see Hroth in the
Solus.
distance. You see Nedragard kind of growing distant in the past. And your stomachs spin as this bird begins what will be its death dive. With its last action bringing you safely down in a crash of paper to a small paper hut. As the parchment hits the ground, you all emerge from it as your three-dimensional selves. Sort of tumbling into reality as you do so.
We shouldn't be here. We have to go back. We have to go back. She's not here. She's not with us.
Krem,
Oh, no. We have to go
Calm
back
down.
now. We have to. She can't. She's alone with that thing. Why are you all so quiet?
there's nothing we can do, Krem.
I walk to the bird and cast Cure Wounds.
Could do with a bit of that myself, actually, Eloise.
I'll cure you.
Thank you. Oh,
9.
It was
10
interesting
points
for
of
sure,
healing
Zach.
For Solus.
Definitely
As
something.
16.
you
16?
16.
Points, okay.
As you attempt to heal his form rent with this vicious blow that brutally shore off one of his wings, realize that he is beyond what Cure Wounds could heal.
Would I have realized that as I approached before casting?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I keep my spell
In spite
slot?
of myself, I think I cry.
In the time that he could have been saved and in which he could have been stabilized, he instead chose to spend that time to bring you here to safety.
He's still on the floor. Though.
Yeah, I picked him up. I think I'm just sort of holding him.
Still like breathing heavy, wide-eyed,
Full taken
in
mode.
shock. Krem looks at the bird, goes up to it, and just. I'd like to try and mend it. So I kind of goes. "Ah."
Interesting.
He goes, please let me.
Yes.
Let me help.
Okay, going for the mend instead
take
of
the
the
bird, I sort of look at
the cure
the
wounds.
form and remember floods of memories of doing origami.
I wonder if it's
with-
gonna work.
For hours and hours and hours with lavender, and I cast mending.
I think she's gonna
Give
let it work.
me a. This is going to be intelligence, and you can add your proficiency to it.
Cool.
And I will say, you do have an inspiration if you wanted to cancel out your disadvantage.
Oh.
Yes, I fucking do. I'm gonna spend it. So D4 first.
I thought with the intelligence,
2, and then it's
no much
plus
cunning.
6.
Plus 6.
or it wasn't a skill check necessarily. It was.
So 12 plus 8 for a dirty 20.
As you fold the paper nimbly
12 plus 8 for a
between your
dirty 20.
hands
That's not-
and cast mending,
Oh, 12 plus
the
8, yes.
bird's beak opens and closes weakly, and you do see its one wing kind of flutter as its eyes
I don't know
begin
where I
to
got
like
6
flit
in my
open.
head.
Life is breathed back into it.
Nice.
So delicate. Please, you need to speak to it. Be careful. It's pretty weak.
That was incredible, Professor. I cast Cure Wounds by breathing into it.
Now it will work, absolutely.
Just roll those dice again. 11, 12 points of healing.
As your healing affects it, it is able to like hop up onto its one foot and then both feet and stretches and shakes the soreness out of its little parchment body. You do see like purple char where its wing was shorn off so cruelly. and it appreciatively clacks its beak at you.
I cast Speak with Animals, and my mouth turns to the beak, and I say, that was incredibly brave of you.
I had a feeling you had come there to save me. I thought it only fair to return the favor.
And we're appreciative, but we have to go back.
There is no path back for the time being.
And I look at them. Their daughter is there now. She freed you, but she took your place.
I have a plan for that, and I need you to trust me.
Trust the bird that got caught
He
already?
says he has a plan and that we can get Lavindria back.
Soth will not harm her. He is a foul man, but he believes he has principles of some sort. She is of more use to him alive for no other reason than he now has something that you all hold very dearly. To charge back in, he would take great pleasure in dismantling her just to see you all squirm.
Oh,
We'll
God.
need to be smarter than that.
She's gonna be so scared. I need a moment. Crumb just turns. Well,
If you're turned away, I'll just put a hand at your back. We're gonna get her back.
Soulless. He has...
Inza might be the only one that can help her now.
Right.
But her magic is weak. She tried to use it to get me out of Soth's keep, but we are left with paper forts. He is not happy with her meddling,
Where is she?
and he gestures to the ornate, paper-crafted hut behind him.
Let's go and see if she can help us.
She's found a way to guide you, to set you on a path so that you may leave this place, and hopefully save its inhabitants in the process of doing so. I believe our fates are now intertwined.
I'm with it too, 17th Night. I already like some of the humor between them and the fact that Dev is like
I'm fine.
leaving both of them.
I touch her. You healed her already?
Healed her, yeah. I used for 16. I don't know if you're... Yeah.
I'm back to 27 out of 32.
I see. Nora, we're gonna get her back.
I know this is difficult, and I know you have questions. Maybe Inza may have your answers.
all I want to know is.
I don't
how
feel like
can
their
we kill
chemistry
this
is
son of
like
a bitch?
bad.
Here.
Double.
Solus nods solemnly and kind of
I mean, they're
hobbles
not critical
instead of
role
flying to the
actors for
entrance of the
this.
hut.
They're
As
also
you
vastly
pass
less
the
experienced, but I don't think it's
parchment
bad.
threshold and enter into this space, you do see it is much larger on the inside than it is on the outside. The inside is actually formed of stone and packed dirt and homey smells. The smell of incense, the smell of herbs, thyme, sage. Almost like there is a pot stewing away somewhere deep inside the
Makes me
cavern.
want to light a
Being
candle.
weird, but a little mouth-watering.
As we smell that, I'm realizing I haven't eaten my sustenance in quite a bit myself.
Where are we entering?
From here. You can put your minis there.
Well, it can't be worse than the last place. I say we lead on.
Solus is still walking ahead of you, his one wing kind of tucked behind his back. You hear the pitter-patter of his paper crinkling.
It's tragic. Why are we letting a paper bud with one wing walk ahead of us?
Leading
you
you, but
guys
if
should
you-
be ashamed of yourselves.
Get
We're
him!
in shock.
Get him!
We're in shock.
This is what triggers you?
I really want to go and pick up Solus.
Absolutely, yeah.
And put him just here on my shoulder. And since I have animal handling skills, I think I'd be very good at that, doing it delicately.
You still have the ferret.
Oh, shit.
You got a ferret.
Two
there.
Ferret on one shoulder and the
Bird on the other.
bud. It's quite the ruckus.
You all kind of enter this space, grappling with the consequences of what just happened, I think. Soth's words, though spewed carelessly and in malice, might have had a deeper effect on you than you originally or initially noticed. But more importantly than that, in some ways, he laid bare a part of you to the rest of you that perhaps you didn't know about each other. The silence and sort of awkwardness
The chemistry
is so
aspect,
palpable,
Edmund?
it can be cut with a knife. And Solus's gentle cooing and fluttering as he sits on your shoulder is the only sound that kind of punctuates the silence as you solemnly walk into Inza's, well, what once was a
I don't
mighty
want to talk
fortress,
too
but
much,
is now
but I
sort
do
of
want
a
to touch on that
paper
a little bit.
fortress.
I think
the
it's
walls
mostly they
around
don't get the
you
chances to
rapidly
show
descend
it as
into
much
two-dimensional illustrations.
because it's faster paced.
You can see the stone turn from stone into like 3D papercraft stone into like a drawing of the stone as it goes up into the roof. And you realize that Inza's power is sort of waning. You could see what her spell is supposed to be and what it has sort of rapidly turned into. And as you enter the sort of central chamber, you see the roots of a large tree that kind of end in a plateau where it's been like kind of sawed off, and in the midst of it all, a crystal ball. And from it emanates a wisp of light. But more importantly, above all of it, you see drawn onto the ceiling an image of Inza's face. It is a crude drawing, like almost like that drawn of a child.
Wow.
But it is manifested before you. This is the only way she could think to do so. And as you enter this domain of power, you can't help but notice the discrepancy or disparity between Inza's keep and Lord Soth's. And in some ways, the disparity between your power and Lord Soth's.
Brutal.
Her voice drifts down to you all, kind of sounds distant and far away as she says, "Oh, good, you're alive."
Thank you.
You're the voice that we heard when we were fighting the Red Wizard.
Yes, I brought you here from across the cosmos at, well, some great expense to myself, but maybe at greater expense to you. Solis tells me things have not been going so well. I apologize for not reaching out to you sooner. You see, my hands are very full.
One of our daughter, she's back in the castle, and she's alone, and probably scared, and I don't know why we got into this mess in the first place, but you shouldn't have brought her here. I know you've been chatting to her, or your familiar has, and I want to know why.
Would it have been better to leave her back on the material plane in the hands of perhaps your worst foe?
When you put it like that, I suppose,
Clem, I don't believe that you have the best measure of people's characters.
Inza, how did you know what was going on our plane?
Scythicus, as horrible as it is home. And the power to save it from almost certain cataclysm, well, it's not within the power of the people who are here. I have been searching far and wide for powers beyond our realm that can maybe help us.
What kind of cataclysm?
If things do not change, Scythicus will be rent asunder, thrown into the great chasm, and set aflame. You see, Lord Soth, very hateful, disgusting creature, though he is. When he holds dominion over this place, in some ways he holds it together. Although the way that was being handled was by 3 banshees, 3 creatures who sing to him. Each one a different tale, and with their lullaby, he stays in slumber on the throne. Because a sleeping Soth is what we all need. When Soth is awake, bad things happen. He is a foul, horrible lord, but without him, this entire place falls apart.
Damned if you do, and I suppose damned if you don't.
These creatures who sing to him ballads of his past, they soothe him.
What happened to them?
Well, they were lost to the winds, and I need your help in getting them back. I think if we can recover all 3 and return them to Soth's Keep, we might have a way to save all of us.
Seems a little problematic.
If you can do this, as a boon, he will most likely let you leave. You see, he still fancies himself a man of some morals. He talks about some type of oath or of being a knight. His definition of honor is not something I would put a lot of stock in, but he does operate by a set of rules. And if you know how to use those rules, well, he holds the keys to leave this place. He has the ability to part the ethereal flames in the mists and
There's audio
allow you to
popping through
leave.
in the back every now
And
and again.
Lavendria is harmed if we don't.
But I would urge you against showing him any mercy
Of that you can be most assured we will not.
or pity.
Do we have any sense of how we could locate these 3 banshees?
I have one. And you follow her eyes that are sort of drawn on the ceiling of this paper down to the crystal ball in front of you. This is in the center of the map. It is perfectly encased in this like sort of ruby glass with gilded gold on the top and the bottom of it. I can give it to you. But first, I have to be certain. I've also prepared a ritual for you.
The ritual?
A way to tell of your fate. And know for certain if you can be trusted with this power. Maybe a warning, maybe a promise, but enlightening both for me and for you. You are linked to one of my peers, so I know at least one of you will do the right thing.
Your accent sounds remarkably like mine. Insa.
I think we have a friend in common.
Can we have a moment?
By all means.
Alone?
And her face kind of like disappears.
Professor,
Yes?
what do you think?
Don't put much stock in this divination thing, but I realize we are running out of options.
I just feel like we might be trading one lord for another, and we really don't know what her plan is, what power she wants or wields.
No. The way I see it, we know one thing, don't we? Our daughter is still there.
Yes.
About that, there is something that may help. The ritual, the silly thing I do with Lavender every morning with the lock of hair through her ears.
That's a child's game that you've been playing for years. Why indulge her in it?
You're not the only clever one, Krem. Think of it like a spying device, just to make sure that she is always safe. And now that she has this lock of hair that I provided during our little rest at the mill, we actually have a way of hearing everything that's going on, as long as Lavender is within proximity to Lord Sath.
You never told me you could do that.
All that matters is that we can make sure she's safe, and we can
Create a
listen
magical token by harmlessly
to
removing a lock of hair
anything
using
that's
some other
happening,
method. The token provides the
and
benefits
we
of
can also
telepathic
send
message or
messages.
remote viewing.
It might also be a way to find out the true motives of
That's
this
pretty cool.
Lord
I didn't know
Sath.
about that.
And I agree with Eloine, although reluctantly, that I don't know if I want to replace one dictator with another or trade the freedom of these banshees for our own.
We don't have a choice. We have to get your daughter back.
I suppose we don't. Zora.
What did he mean in there? Your deity?
Auril, she is whom I pray to, source of my power, my purpose in life. She is a goddess of death, the cold, icy embrace that waits for all of us. All of us. But I am conflicted. Her reach is beyond this place, and the souls and the suffering here is beyond anything I can even dream to comprehend, but I have nothing else. I have no direction besides that. I don't believe your child is dead, even though Soth seems to think so.
And are you going to tell us any more about what he said about you? I mean, we all heard it.
I think it is just some kind of deception. I do not know what he meant.
Can I insight that?
Can I insight that?
Absolutely, yeah. You can make an opposed deception check.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna give myself guidance. I do have
Contest between creatures
disadvantage.
may use a calculated DC. Yeah, they're not up very long.
I got
It
a
is
nat
hard
20
to
and
read.
10.
Oh, so you have to go with the 10?
Yeah.
I'm also going to give myself guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, this is insight, right?
Yep.
I have a -1 to that, so. D4 with a 2, that's +1 then. And it's disadvantage, damn it.
I know.
You're exhausted.
It's exhausted.
Ah, 3 and a 13.
It
so,
pains. The
Yeah.
pain.
So I have a 2.
That would be a 4.
And she got an 8.
Yeah, so I got a 3 + 5.
Oh.
You get the sense that Zora is being a bit evasive. She's not as talkative as she normally is. You saw this woman be bound so tightly that one of her ribs cracked and pierced her skin. And the way she's holding it together alarms you, almost like it's not the first time she's been in a bind like that.
Lord Soth is many things, but he does not strike me as a liar. He did not seem to insinuate anything dishonest about the rest of us.
Well, a necromancer, if that's what you mean.
You do bring things back from the dead.
It's a reanimation process. It's highly scientific, and you wouldn't understand.
I would understand.
Oh, yeah.
Very intimate.
Well, your good book tells you all kinds of things, doesn't it? But it doesn't keep your nose out
You
of people's business.
violate the very teachings
I don't violate
of
anything.
my
I save
people
people.
of my
I'm
faith.
trying to help and save people.
I am trying to as well. You cannot give them more time than what they are given already.
And how do you know what time they have?
Know when their light leaves their eyes. You can't put that back. It's replaced with something else.
From a certain point of view, I could say the same thing about trying to help somebody avoid that moment.
You and I may not see eye to eye. Clearly. All I know is what I have been told, which is that death is inevitable. It is the only promise in this world, or any world. As true as what Lord Soth said about each of us. Are you
Good roleplay
a
scene.
patron of the Baba Yaga?
Nobody's looking at Elwyn.
You all know I'm a Dampier. Nora, maybe we...
I asked you not to call me that anymore.
It is not a mistake. There's something between them.
Awfully presumptive. He also said you were illiterate.
I don't think I really know who you are anymore.
I don't think you've known for quite some time.
Jesus.
You see him reduce?
She's so mean.
He takes his spectacles off, tries to clean them, but realizes he's just... And then he just walks off.
Even now, after all this time, you will not tell me your truth? I have kept your secret, I have kept you safe, and you will keep something from me?
You're not entitled to every truth. I've traveled with others, I've watched others die, I've abandoned others. You don't know me. I used you.
I gave
Jesus.
of myself what I chose to. You did not take advantage of my gift.
I addressed you and then I haven't broken eye contact with Zora.
Lord Sarth is a liar. You would choose to trust that waxy old skeleton?
I know for a fact you lie to me. And I would be willing to look the other way, but in exchange, you must promise me something.
What do you want?
I want your word you will not lie to me again.
I cannot give you my word.
We all want the same thing.
Although I'm within earshot, I'd like to go to the crystal ball
Yeah.
and start studying it and try to understand how it works.
As you're looking into it, you do see like what looks to almost be
Yeah, that got
like a
intense
ball of
amongst
wax
everybody. Everybody was getting
suspended
intense.
in an amber liquid.
Mhm.
You see this like blob that looks hot, like it looks like hot wax, not hard wax, kind of form into what looks like a globe wearing a witch's hat with two large, almost cat-like eyes that kind of blink at you.
I blink back.
It sticks out its tongue.
Despite myself, it reminds me of lavender. And
You hear it knock gently against the glass with its form.
I'm back. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk. My name is My name is Krim. Nice to meet you. I don't know much about this world, but somebody very important to us, to me, is in danger. But if you could help me, I would really appreciate it.
The face kind of form above you, and instead hear Inza's voice saying,
If it's help you want, I think you're better off asking me.
Sorry about earlier. Not very good with the stuff, emotionally speaking.
I can see some measure of your soul. You are an interesting creature because when you are deceitful, you believe in your lies. It tells me something of who you are as a person. You believe the lie that you are this small child's father. And I believe the truth that you would do anything to get her back.
Isn't that what a father would do?
Embark on this quest for me, and I will give you the power you need to succeed. And it may come at some cost to you, but you will get her back.
you see the crystal ball kind of glow for a moment, and then it seems like every torch in this hut darkens. And it feels like the chamber grows smaller around you, and all of you see this. Almost like a heartbeat. Thunk, 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 thunk. getting tighter and tighter, like a rib cage kind of collapsing in around you. And then you hear it, as though Inza is taking a deep breath. And with her exhale, a deck of cards forms in the air, kind of inviting you to select one. You will be the first to draw from our Taroka deck.
Oh my god.
There it is. The Taroka deck is in.
Oh, of course. Oh.
And we're all good, right? I love you all.
I love you. Oh yeah, I love you. I'm excited. Oh yeah.
Kneel, if you will. Pick any card, rifle through the deck, and pick any card that speaks to you. You can't touch it.
Oh,
Can't
I
touch your
won't.
energy. This is me just being a weird witchy woman. No one can touch it. You can't imbue it with your energy. Hand it over. I need to see it.
She's so excited. Yes.
Ah!
Is it a good one?
What?
The Raven.
Raven.
Krem, you see the fan of cards before you. Your hand is drawn to one. As you flip it around in your hands, it is whisked away and lands perfectly on the ground in front of the crystal ball in the central position, the Raven. You see its dark wings enveloped around the starry sky, and you cannot help but see your eyes also drawn to Solus. In some ways, you feel that your fates are tied together. These foul creatures that you have been warned can do foul things like eating children, misunderstood creatures by so many different cultures. You've always known them to be important. You've always known them to be survivors, scavengers, not the most savory creatures often referred to in Baldur's Gate as rats with wings, but they do what they need to do to survive. And on their wings, amazing things can happen. In fact, there are some that believe in Ravenloft, and I'm going to say this in Inza's voice, that there are winged creatures, ravens and crows, that can traverse the mists, that can leave here of their own accord, on their own wings. Solus is my familiar. He is bound to me, but he is also his own entity, a creature of great power. Perhaps it is on his wings that you might yet find a way out of your predicament, Krem. If you can find a way to restore those wings, perhaps they hold the key to your freedom, and perhaps they can carry your little one to safety. I think this board
I've seen some.
and your
Zach, I've
fates
seen
are now
I've
in
seen
some
some
way
decks
tied
instead of
together.
dice.
Is Solus
It's
in the
cards
room?
instead of dice and stuff like that.
Its wings is still broken, like one of them.
Oh, it's like cut clean off.
Despite my intellectual rage against spiritualism and all that stuff, I feel the connection. I'm going to put another finger out to its middle and cast Mend one more time.
I think you will need to grow your knowledge and your power to do that which you seek. But I think your intent is correct. I will grant you the use of Solus for your journey.
I'll need to be able to talk to him.
That is something I can arrange. But my beast speech comes with a cost, as all dark gifts do.
As I said before, if this helps me get Lavender back, I'll gladly pay it.
And the rest of you, are you ready?
Yes.
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 Who will draw the next card?
Oh, we're getting more cards.
Anyone?
Anyone? Ah, your past, the diviner. Yes, I am entwined in your past. I am the reason you are here. But there are other diviners that meddle in our past and sometimes in our future. The diviner that you speak to, unfortunately for you, holds little dominion here. For you to pull the diviner for your past means that spiritually you are fraught. But more importantly, you have always focused on your own aspirations. The Two of Stars speaks to those of us who sometimes focus on ourselves. on our pursuit of power, on our pursuit of knowledge. It is a card that sometimes speaks of feeling as though you have some kind of fate that you could control.
Yes.
Maybe it is how you cope with killing your brother.
Oh, Jesus.
You'll have to get over
Spoiler
it,
alert.
my dear. The past is the past, and looking to the future, you cannot do that until you bury this guilt in your heart or accept responsibility for it. I think you know in your soul you don't regret it.
Not for 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Hiding things, Wesley?
That was his name.
Wesley.
Yes,
And it is also your name.
it is mine now, so I don't forget what I did.
What was your name before?
Calyx. It is the part of a rose that protects the bud, and I never lived up to it.
How does your god view murder?
That is why I sought her. He was to become a servant to the Wizards of Fae. I tried to talk him out of it, but he would not be convinced. I believed that he had already decided to throw his life away, but my hand would be kinder.
So, in effect,
Dang.
you judged him.
I did. And when I sought answers and understanding why I felt the compulsion to do what I did, I finally understood. I was simply keeping the promise.
There's definitely been at least
promise
one
that
cut
waits for all
I
of
saw
us.
pretty clearly.
The only truth. That death, in fact, comes for us all.
Who's next?
You want to go for it?
All right, let's see if we get some more big reveals with this one.
The third position
It's Mayana.
is
Mayana
that
Beren.
which
Yeah,
will
she's
hinder you
killing it.
on
She's
your
got the roleplay
journey.
element.
Your biggest foe. The anarchist. Sometimes disrupting existing power structures, even when you're hoping to do good, it comes with costs that are paid by those at the bottom rungs of society. Lofty ideals are very easy for people who sit in tall towers. When you embark on your journey, someone will come to you. They will try to stray you from your path. They will try to promise you things that they cannot possibly deliver on. For that is what the anarchist thrives on. You know this well. Any promise made to you by a silver-tongued devil is a promise that comes with a cost that only you will pay. You were there the night where you were embraced into this wretched life you live in now, feasting on the blood of others. You were a gravedigger, but you weren't a bottom feeder before. You will be tempted again, and so will the rest of you. Know that this is what stands in your path. Know when the liar comes to you. Do not fall for his lies. Sister, are you ready?
I am.
I think it's appropriate that you draw the card that tells of your future.
Eve.
Oh yes, the thief. Some people think of this as a card that symbolizes that perhaps you will meet a thief in your future, but the reality is a thief can be a protector. It can be a mantra by which to live. The Seven of Coins is a powerful card. Coins symbolize that you will be enriched material in some way. Perhaps should you get back to where you're going, your money problems will be gone. Oh, did they not know that?
We have money, cash
Crap.
flows.
And maybe you'll be able to buy back those diamonds that you had to spend to deal with your little addiction problem.
Addiction?
It's not it.
What addiction?
The deal we have struck. He does not wish to end the lives of the creatures he feeds on.
Well, that's not true, is it?
Eloine, what is she talking about?
I'll tell you my truth if you tell him ours.
Oh, there it is.
Awkward, awkward.
But that's preposterous. You already met a few months ago when we hired you on to help us with the research I was doing. What do you mean you're...
This is about you,
Could be
Zora.
fun, but also
You must
got the
learn
pressure
to
of
take
that
what
and the
you need
potential
for yourself.
needing to
In
change
your
it later.
pursuit to
But if you
save
can
the
do it,
feelings
oh,
of the
that's so
people
good.
around you, you have left yourself alone and bereft, and you seek to do it again. The thief tells you to take what you need to grow in your power. You do not have to face the path you are on alone. There are people who care for you, who love you.
Which people?
They are around you now. They will not forsake you if they know your truth, but it is your truth to give. But know that the time will come that you will have to take what you need. I know the tide you are fighting against, and you will need everything you can get your little claws on if you're going to fight it. Otherwise, you may as well lay down and succumb to it now. I did.
You did?
Well, everything comes with a cost.
So you are not what you seem.
I am and I am not. But I think you already know that. Nothing is what it seems. We are all wearing different masks. Some to make other people uncomfortable, some to make ourselves. Live in your truth.
And are you happy?
Who is? Sometimes happiness is not a state of being, but a destination. Something you have to work at, like your magic. And who knows, maybe along the way you'll have some type of opportunity to fix your burnt up house.
Metaphorically or literally?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Or maybe you'll be able to steal something more important. The prize that Soth has claimed from you. The prize of your little girl.
And I do feel like I have been dishonest for far too long. You are right, Wesley. I have been lying to you all. But maybe not for the reason that you think. Eloise and I have known each other for quite some time. We were married. Many years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
It doesn't mean anything anymore. I also don't think it's truly important at this moment, but I have listened to the words of Insa, and I think she's right. I think we need to start this next chapter with a fresh start.
And you will need help to do so. And that will be the 5th card.
Oh, there it is. 5th card you were
She's
asking
not
about,
with
Pirates.
you, but she can still draw it. You see an apparition of a small goblin mage hand. The cards are fanned out, floating in the air.
Jerry
in
Springer
front of you.
Ravenloft.
You see the hand hesitate and then pick one to aid you on your way. The dungeon. It's the first time you see Inza knit her brow. Well, no, that couldn't be. To venture into sorrow is folly. It's very difficult to get out, but if that is where your help lies, well, the little one is very insightful. And although her heart is scared and she
That was
closes
a bigger
her
shock
eyes,
than
she
that,
keeps
yeah.
her big green ears very open. For her to pick this card means she's been listening to something that she thinks will be useful against
Instead of
Soth.
Ravenloft, the
There is
horrors
someone in
within,
prison there who may help.
it's Ravenloft, the horrors
Don't know
of
them to be
relationships.
the helpful type, but maybe I don't know her heart.
Who is she?
You will know her for her purple skin, a one-eyed creature of sadness and despair and anger. But perhaps her anger will not be directed at. Perhaps, like a knocked arrow, it can be directed at our mutual foe. Take solace with you. He saved you once, perhaps he can save you again. He hops up on your arm.
I suppose it's fitting, but we're heading into sorrow.
Kneel. As the bird preens its paper wing, you hear its voice for the first time. I suppose we are on this journey together now. I am shorn, torn in two, and in some ways, I think you know what it feels like to lose something that's a part of you.
Very much so. I think we're both in good company.
I would warn you, Inza's blessings always come with a price. And you will pay yours at the next full moon.
Clearly, you've never had a daughter, but I would say this with some confidence, whatever the price.
The raven shrugs in its aloof way and says, "Yeah. Besides, I've known a lot of were-ravens that lead wonderful lives."
And that'll
Turn him
be
into
how
a
we end
were
today.
raven?
Yes!
Oh, no!
All right. So they're turning him into a were raven? That's what that oh wait. Yeah, there we go. That's what it sounds like. I guess the price he's paying for the help, the ability to speak with the raven, is he becomes a were raven. That's what that seems like, sounded like. What do we think? My favorite parts, I think, were the moments of humor. I'm a sucker for that feeling of people sitting around a table, and I guess that's just some of the games that I'm in. In D&D, that like people crack little jokes and do whatever, and so the moments of humor were probably my favorite parts. The reveal of like we're getting a divorce was also really good. Nice. Yes, humor. Yeah, great humor. What is a were-raven? I'm assuming it's in the book. They are probably allowing for more, so like a werewolf, but a raven. That I'm assuming they'll have some stuff for in the D&D, the horrors within. Yeah, it's because they already exist. Like I just Googled it, and so it's a lycanthrope. Table perf might caught me off guard. Oh, they didn't catch me off guard at all from what I know of her. That makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't say on these like if it's in a certain. Well, no, that's from Nord Games. There's a were-raven. So I'm guessing they're coming out with their own stat block. I don't know if there's an official one yet or if it's just going to come out in the book. Oh, there is one. There's a were-raven in Curse of Strahd. That might be its own sort of stat block creature or whatever, but I'm assuming his will be different because it's not going to be he like just straight up is one. I'm going to assume it's like he can turn into because yeah. I'm going to guess it's something to show off from the new book where, you know, yeah, okay. So this is from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Some random stat block in the bestiary. This is a medium humanoid human shape changer. It gets shape changer. It gets mimic cry or mimicry. The were-raven can mimic simple sounds it has heard, such as a person whispering, a baby crying, or an animal chittering. They can tell a person who hears it can tell it's an imitation with a successful DC 10 Wisdom insight check. But these are the base. Like I think this is straight up like if you were to pull a were-raven out of the monster manual kind of thing. I don't think this is like if a person is a were-raven. I'm sure there's like a different process to that in terms of benefits, but they probably still have that. The were-raven also has regeneration, 10 hit points at the start of its turn. Unless it takes stuff from a silvered weapon or a spell. Gotta run. Peace out, Pog. And then this one has multi-attack where it can do a beak attack. As long as it is in its raven or hybrid form. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. But we'll see. But yes, basically it's just like being a werewolf. Like he'll be able to take the form of a raven. Yeah, lots of inter-party stuff, and it was like all at the same time. It's like everybody had their big like reveals, and there was a lot of that like intensity between the players all at like the exact same moment, right? It was just kind of like rotating between Yeah, on the thing I'm looking at, it says 12. But again, we don't know what the stat block will be. The other one, yeah, I see is 13, 31 hit points, 30 fly speed. This stat block has it having a flyby, which is pretty good. But this one, if you're looking at the 5e SRD one, I think that one, it says at the bottom, is coming from Ultimate Bestiary, the Dreaded Accursed from Chris Haskins' Nord Games, which is not like official D&D or anything like that. So I don't know if that's the right. Like, I don't know that this is what he is becoming, basically. They're so quick. They are very quick. They are very quick. To be fair though, and with the extra 20 minutes, I felt it in this one. I did. I felt the extra, well, it wasn't even an extra full 20. It was probably like an extra 10 or 12, but I felt it. When Soth had his scenes and stuff like that. Grimford. Oh yeah, no, they did a great job with that scene. Yeah, no, Neil and Mayana, they crushed that. That was super well done. And they actually showed that like depth of role play. I mean, the raised voices, the feeling behind what they were saying and stuff like that. Like I thought that was well done. I thought that was very well done. Creme is their chutney. I mean, if anybody is, yeah, that does make the most sense. And they took this Wizards is advertising the Troika card set off of that. So that was their chance to introduce the cards. They made posts about it on all the socials. I wonder when those come out. Let's see. They release in 47 days and 13 hours for $24.99. The part where they Mayana and him went hard in the paint. That was a great role play moment. They did a really good job. Hard to come back from 3.5 5 hours. No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that it is a stark difference to get that. But I do like that Critical Role has kind of set themselves on about 3.5 hours. Yeah, sometimes they're over by 10 minutes, whatever, but I really like that. And luckily, I normally skip the recap part and the ad segment on Beacons. So in actuality, most of these have probably only been like 3 hours and 20 minutes for me. 3 hours, 23:25. And that is short enough that I'm like, okay, I can handle this with all the stuff I have to do around it. Oh, I just noticed they're also putting the Dungeon Masters Episode 3 premiere stuff on at the top of like D&D Beyond. I opened it up and they had a little ad right there too. So that's pretty cool. Didn't bug me at all. Wait, what do you mean? Liked it a lot. We got Soth, we got backstories, we got weird fortune telling. Yeah. No, I think they covered a lot of the bases really well. We also did say that we thought there would be a combat just because of, you know, what it is, the world, yada yada, but we did not get one. It's also tough to do combats in their episodes because with them only being an hour, you know, an hour 20 whatever, that is tough to give that much time to a combat. It doesn't really leave you with a lot to do much else, assuming your combat goes at least like 30 or 45 minutes, which is very likely unless they're just easy combats, right? Fast combats. Now, speaking of which, last night I had a nice capture the flag combat for my players, which was pretty neat. Basically, I had a mechanic where when anybody was knocked prone, they dropped the flag. Like, that's how you could drop it, was knocking somebody prone. And with weapon masteries, there's plenty of that, so... And then a game of liar's dice. If you guys have never done that, that's a lot of fun. D20 episodes are all under 2 hours. Oh, that's what you meant. Like the them not being as long didn't really bother you. Well, overall it was solid. I don't think it was better than episode 2 for me. But it probably held the same. I would say it maintained. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Tomorrow we will have the Critical Role pre-show. So I will see you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. And of course, look out for any content that may be coming. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.